Welcome back to the channel. This is the Betsy Ross Jeep, and we're going to film an episode today of the Betsy Ross Jeep project. I got to be honest with you, I don't really know where I am in this project. Like I said on my 1500 subscriber video, which was actually a month ago, a lot of stuff has just gotten in the way. Mara, we got this to the point, we pushed hard to try to get it ready for her for the senior formal, and it was almost ready. She got to drive it after the formal, had a great time, really excited about where it was and where we are with it. And well, then that kind of snowballed into it was time to graduate high school and finish high school, and then we had a big party. And then we went on a mini vacation, and then my dad stopped over and I worked on his Jeep for a whole week, and then I've been traveling a bunch for work. Or it wasn't even a Jeep, it was his motorhome. But long story short, when we took our feet off the pedal and we slowed down, it kind of got pushed aside. Pushed to the back of the thing, the back of the burner, it's just unintentionally, but it's been just, life has been getting in the way, and it might be the longest period of time that we have not worked on it. It's been over a month, I think, since we touched it. And because of that, in part of the last video, which if you haven't seen it, this is part of a playlist. You can click the link in the corner, see the rest of them if you want, if you're new here. But part of that last video, I had to erase all of my task lists and all the line items to know what was next, what's coming up, what do I have to get done on this, and what, stop moving around, what else do we need to do. And that's what I'm going to do tonight. Is I'm going to clean up a little bit, get my pen out, write down a list of what's coming up next, and try to get something accomplished so that we can start making some progress on this. And to be perfectly honest with you, if you hadn't noticed, look around my shop. This is a mess. I have bins of Jeep parts, seats, piles of Jeep parts. There's an engine, a transmission, transfer. I've got a lot of stuff around here, and I need to get cleaned up, but I can't let myself start doing that until I finish this for her. It's been going on for so long. I want to get it done for me so that I can feel like I accomplished something. But she is really excited to be able to drive this, and I feel like I'm letting her down by not having it ready for her. So I got to get a little bit done. I don't have a ton of time, but I do have at least 10 days now where I don't have to travel. And maybe even a little bit after that it's time. I'm gonna have evenings, I'm gonna have some weekends, so you're gonna see some more videos. But at least for now, let's get going on this. I'm gonna make some lists, I'm gonna clean up some stuff, and then we're gonna try to get something done. So thanks for stopping. Let's get to it. We've used red. Oh. Ooh. Okay, I've got a little bit of a list. These are some things that I want to get done before I take it for inspection. That's the next step that we need to do legally so that she can drive it. It really doesn't have to be perfect and finished before it's drivable, but we have to be able to pass. We have to fix the sticker problem, because I don't want her getting pulled over and having any issues with that. Or I legitimately want somebody else to look at it and tell me if it's safe, make sure that I didn't screw something up that I didn't notice. So that's the list. We're going to try to take one thing at a time and get as much done as we can and bring you guys along for the ride. So thanks for coming. We're going to keep going. I am out of practice. Let's get to it. One of the first things that I'm going to work on tonight is the clock spring. couple episodes ago, we had an issue with the steering box. I let the thing spin more times than it should have. It was an accident. I knew not to do it, but ultimately it happened. So the steering wheel doesn't have any connection electronically from the wheel to the connector in the back, which means that I need to replace the clock spring. And the clock spring is a kind of a conical or circular or spring-shaped wire that connects the buttons to the electronics on the back, and that spun too far, it pulled it out, and it no longer works. This one out of the donor, I don't know how good it is, but logical first step before I go out and buy a $200 clock spring, pull that one apart. So that's what we're going to do next. That right there is the clock spring. So this guy right here is the clock spring, and we are trying to get it out. Now, over there in those bins, I have a clock spring. I have one that I know is good. It came off a working, running, driving Cherokee. However, what it does not have, it does not have cruise control. This Jeep has cruise control, the donor Jeep had cruise control, but the one that's in that bin over there does not. And I can tell that by the number of pins in the clock spring. So, that means, wait a minute. Yeah, that means that I've got to take this off of here. So to get to that, I got to take the airbag off, I've got to take the steering wheel off, and then I've got to take that all apart. So I'm going to set you guys over here and kind of put you on a time lapse so you can see me do that. So I'm not saying and waving my hand at the camera at you the whole time. Just when I stop to tell you about something. So here you go. You guys sit over here. Right up. Is that okay? Can you see from it? Let me see. How you doing? How you got it? You want to look down? Okay. How's that? That good? That's probably good. Can you see this guy? Is that in your way? Probably. Let's tilt you out a little bit. There we go. He's still kind of there, isn't he? Yeah. Well, you get the idea. Okay, so I don't know if it's foolproof. We'll find out now whether or not it's the case, but this is how I've tested them in the past. And if I can't get a reading on them, I just give up. So I have my clock spring, and what I'm doing is I'm going to hold the cable on here. I'm going to put a probe in one wire on the cable, and then I'm going to test on the other side. And if we get continuity through, we got it. So we just go through with each one of these wires on here coincides with the wire down here. These guys here on the end are the airbag, and that one has a little sensor deal in there. So there's actually 4 wires going in, and and two of them are connected. So like these two down here are connected. I don't know the details. It's probably how they sense whether or not it's been shot off or not. This one tests out fine, so all the horn and cruise control stuff is all good, and the two signal wires to the airbag are good. I think the igniter is through these little dots here. Those are the two signal/igniter wires to the airbag. So I believe what we have here is a good working clock spring. So now we can go take the steering wheel out of the Jeep and put this in there. Absolutely, positively, every time. I work on an airbag, I take the negative battery cable off, and even that is not a guarantee that we are going to successfully remove this steering wheel without popping that guy in our face. So it's like a little bit of gamble every time, a little bit of a spicy meatball. But here we go. We're gonna try to pull this guy apart, put that in there, see if we can solve that problem and move on and check that off the list, and that marks one more thing done on this guy. Here we go. I'm gonna stick you guys up here and bring you in if there's anything interesting, but it should go pretty quick, I hope. Yep. It's working?
Too loud.
It's too loud.
So that means it's working.
That means it's working, yep. Uh-oh, windshield wipers. How do you turn them off? All right. Airbag light is out. Yay.
Wait, did you
All right, well, we don't have cruise.
What's cruise?
Uh-oh. I wonder if these switches are bad. Maybe that only comes on when the car's running. Are we clear to start the car?
You said it's smart. Hey.
Let's try to start it. Oh, there it is.
Is it on?
Yep, see the cruise button? Cruise, yep.
Nope. Too loud.
Too loud.
Yeah, I can't.
Alright, bud, now you can help me.
No.
I'm gonna hand you tools, you go put them on the bench, okay? Ready? Here.
What bench?
The one over there.
So, the red one? Or the gray one?
The gray one. Alright, here's some more tools. Take what you can.
Tools. one's heavy.
Oh, that one's heavy. You can get that one too? That one's light. Alright. I got a couple more tools for you. Alright. Well, that wraps it up for tonight. We got the clock spring in. We've got the horn working. We've got cruise control. We've got the airbag light out. So that is a good win. That's a good quick night. We'll get that done and move on to the rest of this list. We're going to try to do a little bit every time we get out here and get as much done as we can, as quickly as we can, because we want to get this thing done so we can move on to other stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for stopping out. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. Come on back for more. We're going to try to get this guy done and out and driving for my daughter. Thanks again for stopping out. We'll see you guys next time.
Don't hit the subscribe button if you already have.
Don't hit the subscribe button if you already have. That's right. And give it a like.